Hey guys, my name is Cynthia and welcome to my channel, Graciously Growing. If this is your first time viewing this channel, it's about two things that I love, and that is growing plants and growing in the Word of God. Now today is the very last day of Vlogmas. If you don't know what Vlogmas is, it's when YouTubers decide to upload a video every day from December 1st through December 24th, Christmas Eve. And this is the last day for me. And I decided to introduce you to my plants alphabetically for Vlogmas. And so today would be Vlogmas day number 24, and it would incorporate the letters Y and Z because this is the last day. Now, I don't have any plants to start with the letter Y, but I do have some plants to start with the letter Z. And also on today, I told you I would tell you, because you guys have been guessing, how many plants I actually have in my plant collection. And also I would be answering any questions that you left in the comment section. And if you hear noise, excuse me, my daughter has a Christmas party going on downstairs with her friends, and so I have the door closed in my plant room, but you may be hearing some laughter, so excuse that. But I'm excited that I was able to actually complete Vlogmas. So let's get in today's video. I'm gonna start with sharing with you the plants that I have that start with the letter Z. So I have my green variety ZZ plant. I actually have, do I have two or three? I think I have at least two, because I have one downstairs in my dining room. No, actually that's in my living room. Yeah, and I think I have one somewhere else, but I at least have two. So this is my regular ZZ plants. You know, if you are a beginner, I would say get you a ZZ plant. They are so easy and forgiving. They don't need a lot of light, but I would tell you the more light you give them, the better they, the faster they grow. You can't overwater them. And so if you're an overwaterer, you might want to get a water meter, or just be careful not to overwater them. But they're pretty hardy. And so this is one of my ZZ plants, and she's a beauty. Now I also have the Raven ZZ. I love her for her leaves that I think they're black. They are definitely black. They could be a dark green, but when they grow in, and she doesn't have any that have just grown in. When they grow in, they look just like the regular ZZ. They grow in green, and then they turn to this darker color. And so yeah, this is my Raven ZZ, and she's been growing like crazy. She's absolutely beautiful. And then finally, I remember I told you guys I was on the hunt for this particular ZZ, my Chameleon ZZ. Look at her. And she's been growing a lot. She has some new growth going on at the root. You probably can't see that. You see those little green spikes. So she's been doing well. I think I'm going to have to repot her in a little bit, but yeah, that's my Chameleon ZZ. So those are the only plants that I have that starts with a Z. I have no idea why I brought my snake plant up here. I don't know what I was thinking, but since I brought her up here, here she is. She's doing well, but I already introduced her when I did the alphabet S. So I'm not sure why I brought her up here. So now let's get into the questions that you guys left me, and then I will end telling you how many plants I have. So let me get my glasses here. So I'm trying to figure out. So Fleca 64 and Esmeralda and Chula 75. Can't read my own writing. And Lynn Martin had some of the same questions, and they were, first question was, how did I get started with plants? And you know, I thought about that. I've always loved plants, but I was more of an outdoor, spring, summertime, you know, growing plants. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, I started just collecting plants in my home, if I can remember correctly. And I believe it was right after I was given my peace lily at my daughter's funeral. And then my son gave me another peace lily. And actually that would have been more than 5 years ago. That would have been more like 7 or 8 years ago. And I started slowly having a couple plants in the home. But then when I moved in 2020 and I moved into this home, is when I really started collecting plants. And it started because I started watching YouTube videos about you know, plant lovers. I was watching I think the very first YouTuber I found, I want to say it was and now her name is eluding me. Yeah, I can't think of her name, but I found her video. I started watching her plant videos, and from her plant videos, I found other YouTubers, and then I started saying, hey, I think I want to, you know, collect plants as well. And that's how it started. So I would say that I really got started in 2020. Then the next question was, which was your very first plant? My very first plant was my peace lily. Well, you know, actually, I can't say that. I really don't know what my very first plant was, because like I said, I've had plants for a very long time. I remember vaguely having some pothos at the very beginning, and it was actually my ex-husband that actually was purchasing those plants, and I was caring for. Actually, I didn't even care for them. Back then, I didn't know a lot about plants. He cared for them. So I think the very first plant that was in our home back then was a pothos. The next question was, do my family and friends think I'm crazy? Yeah, some of them do. Yeah. You know, I get the looks. When I started my YouTube channel, I had one of the members from my church, you know, made the comment, was like, why do you have all those plants? And what do you do with all those plants? And, you know, either you get it or you don't get it. And I had another friend that made a comment, and I told her, I said, you know, everybody loves different things. You know, some people collect coffee cups, some people collect, I don't know, whatever. You know, we all have hobbies. So this is mine. But yeah, some of them think I'm crazy. Another question was, what do you enjoy the most about being a plant mom? I enjoy them growing, you know, seeing the new growth that comes in. And on that note, I was looking in my IKEA cabinet here, and I promise you guys, I did not see this leaf. And all of a sudden, look, I know they just don't come out. I don't think they come out that quick. But I promise you, yesterday I did not notice that there was a new leaf coming out. And that makes me really excited because, like I said, this is what I call one of my wish list plants. And I was wondering, could I care for it? Because where I purchased it from, it is a nursery that is in a greenhouse. They're literally in a greenhouse. And even in the summertime, if the temperature gets above a certain degree, they're closed because it's a greenhouse, and I guess they don't, the workers can't work in there. And so all of their plants are, in that nice warm environment. So it was really neat to look and see that this plant is obviously doing well. So yeah, I think that's my favorite part, is just watching them grow. And then the last question, no, that's not the last question. The second to the last question is, what is my favorite genius of plants? You guys know that. Yeah, if you watch my channel, you know my favorite genius is algonemas, Chinese evergreens, whatever you want to call it. I love those plants. And if you look it up, there's literally so many different varieties of algonemas, and I would, if I could, I would have one of each, but obviously I can't because there's way too many and I don't have the room. But yeah, that is my favorite genius. If calatheas weren't so difficult and drama queenish, they would be a they would be a second. They would be a runner-up. Yeah, they would be a runner-up, but because they're so dramatic, they're not a runner-up. And then the last question was, what branch of military was I in? I was in the Army. I was in the Army for 8 years. I am a veteran, and so yeah, although that seems so long ago, but yes, I was in the Army. So now let's get to, because I think that's the last question. Let's get to your guys' guess of how many plants I have. I'm gonna try to go, where's my pencil, to the person that guessed the most all the way down to the least amount of plants. So let's see here. So Jillian LeBlanc guessed that I had 450 plants. Woo, that's a lot. That was her guess, 450 plants. And then the Ressa A. Chung 883, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the RESSA Chung 83 guessed that I had 250 plants. Who's the next one? Let's see, what's the next highest number? Lynn Martin 1548 guessed that I had 174. Mel, I think it's Mel 8475, Melch 84775 guessed that I have 157 plants. Chula 75 guessed that I have did I say 150? No, Mel 8475 guessed that I had 157. I don't know if I said 150, but I meant 157. And then Shula 75 guessed that I have 150 plants. And both Esmeralda Burgess and Flacca 67, you both guessed that I had 110. And then Shauna Lamarsargis, Lamsargis, guessed that I have 85 plants. And then lastly, Janae Simone guessed that I have 77 plants. So, did anyone guess the right amount of all of those that I just listed? No. Was anyone close? So, drum roll. I have in my collection, because I counted again this evening, and I didn't count 2 plants that I am nursing back to health for 2 friends because they're not technically my plants. But I have 145 plants, you guys. I could not believe it. And a great amount of them are in this plant room. If I was to count the plants that are in this plant room quickly, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's over 50 plants in this room. Yeah. And then the next biggest area would be in my dining room area and then in my office, because I don't have a lot of plants in my plant room. I mean, in my master bedroom. I only have, I can tell you that because let's see, I have 1 hanging plant in there, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 plants in my master bedroom, so not a lot of plants. So yeah, you guys, 145. So the closest person would have been Chula 75, who guessed that I had 150, and the next closest person would have been Melge 8475, who guessed that I had 157 plants. So there you have it, you guys. This is the end of Vlogmas. It was a lot of work, but I definitely enjoyed doing it. There was some days when I was like, I'm tired. I don't feel like filming. And of course, there were some days that I filmed more than 1 video at the same time. I made that disclaimer at the very beginning that some of these videos were pre-recorded because, you know, I do work a full-time job. So, but all in all, I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'm looking forward to what next year will bring. And I would leave you with this. Just, you know, count your blessings. You know, I have been really trying to be positive. You know, we all have things in our lives that we wish would you know, the outcome would have been different. And if we're not careful, we will dwell on the negative. But think about all of the positive things that are going on in your life. And I pray that you have a wonderful Christmas filled with love and laughter with your friends and your family. And I pray that this upcoming year be a very good year. The world is in a turmoil, but we in God, we can be in the world, but we are not of the world. And so I just pray to each and every one that watches this video, nothing but blessings now and next year and forever. And so until next time, you know what I always say, be blessed.